I really love the point you're making about, and this is partly societal and ourselves, is you just explained a lot of roles. Like, I'm a public figure in recovery. I'm a this in this. I'm a music artist who was addicted, whatever.
Yep.
So we create all these titles and roles and designations that are not the real us. And society forces us to play them, and we force it. There was a lyric that I love. This is probably one of my favorite songs that you've done. I was talking to my, I have a meditation program that I've created for Calm, and we were just there recording before this. And so I'm recording for like 4 hours, just teaching meditations. And I was speaking to my producer, who I'm really good friends with. His name is Ben too, saying that you were coming on the show. He loves rap too. And so I was sharing that you were coming on, and we then started talking about some of our favorite songs. So he was saying this one was his, and I was like, oh, me too. So Light Tunnels. And there was this lyric that that I thought was really powerful for what we're talking about right now. You say, they want the gossip, they want the drama, they want Britney Spears to make out with Madonna, they want Kanye to rant and go on longer because that equates to more dollars. They want talking topics, they want trending topics, et cetera, et cetera. And so, it's that idea that we're trying to create, society's trying to create these identities for us. And then we kind of try and live up to those identities. How do you in this moment disconnect from that and go, well, actually, yes, people may say I'm a public figure going through recovery, I'm a music artist doing this. How have you found a way over time to not subscribe to that identity and be like, no, I'm Ben, I'm, who are you today? Like, how do you create that disconnect?
Things that help my kids getting off of social media. Again, not to be redundant, but my community in recovery. I think we're all trying to get back to that place, whether you're in the public, space or not. It's the idea of who am I really at the core. And I've always used art as a medium to find out my own truth and to find out who I am as a person. But it's all the things that we're kind of discussing. It's like, and that you were talking about in terms of service too, like, doing your own work and then putting it back and then going back and forth in this cycle. I think it's getting exercise. I think it's clearing the mind. I think that it's picking up the phone. I think that it's like, I think it's these small little acts throughout the course of a day that you realize that all of this is so fleeting and that it's not real. It's not all of that world that's in light tunnels that we're speaking about. It's as real as we make it. And I think that it's really challenging to divorce yourself from media when you are a part of the media, when you are a part of a topic, or, I could throw out 10 celebrities' names and like the first, you'll have thoughts and judgments right away when you hear someone's name. And we've compartmentalized people, we put them into boxes, we don't really get to know who they are. And I think that that's why long form podcasts or conversations have helped to kind of reshape how we view certain people. And are actually really beneficial to get to know individuals outside of a headline. Now, the unfortunate part is, and also for how short our attention spans are, and now, we 5-second increments, 15-second increments, we're scrolling, we're moving on, we can't retain information, we're on to the next. It's really dope to see that like long form podcast, there's a lane for this where either it's super fast or like, I'm going to listen to Joe Rogan for 3 hours. You know what I mean? And like, and I think that that's because people are longing for something deeper. They want to hear conversation. They want to see the evolution of dialogue start here and go here, like that is what actually is real. We are not creatures that operate in 3 to 5 second increments. There is a flow and an evolution. And I think that explaining who we really are, our character defects, our flaws, our shortcomings to the things that make us brilliant and unique, to really examine those
Yeah.
is what this life really is all about.
Yeah.
And that the rest of it is a hurdle to get over.
I love that analysis of it. I really do, because you said earlier, you said we're spiritual beings having this human experience.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people on their spiritual journeys or their inner journeys, at one point you get caught in the evolution of it, where it's hard being a spiritual being having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're like, how do I make music in this world, but then not feel of this world?
Right.
Like, that becomes a really tough thing. And I've worked on that personally. I work on it personally. I work with so many people on it personally. And I find that the natural human instinct is to retreat.
Yes.
It's like to remove ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when I became a monk, I think subconsciously that's exactly what I was doing, where I wasn't escaping because I didn't have a bad experience with the material world. I could just see from other people's experiences that the material world wasn't satisfying to them.
Yes.
I could see people who were more successful than me, more wealthy than me, more, everything than me. I was 21 years old. And I could see that they weren't happy. And so I was like, okay, well, I need to figure out a different path. And I gained 3 years of getting time to figure out what my values were and who I was and why I wanted to do anything. And then coming back, like, I find that too today, where it's like, I'm not a monk anymore. I'm married. I have businesses. We have money, like, things like that. And it was like, I had to make peace and sense of those ideas for what they meant to me and what their use was, without them defining me or me trying to distance myself from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we chase things,
Yep.
and then we run away from them until we figure out how to use them properly.